Hey, what's up, guys and gals? My name is Ricknineg. Thank you for joining me today on this awesome Sunday. Look at this. Look at that lighting. It's like a hallelujah moment with like, it's really, because it's not completely blue skies. Yes, blue skies, but we definitely have some clouds that are making a little bit of interesting colors, of course, in LA. So hopefully you guys and gals are doing okay. Hopefully you're doing great. Nice to see everyone. I'm excited to get into Lucy. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me just see. So yeah, the audio is working good. I didn't see the bar telling me my audio was working. So hopefully you guys and gals are doing great. Nice to see you. So welcome to all. Welcome to all the new people who maybe have never been on the live stream. I welcome you. Any of my contact information, address, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that is in the description. I link it. So if you want to find out more about me other than the videos that I post, definitely a great way. Welcome to Aniston, Angel, Nicholas, and everyone else on the live stream. Marcus as well. So yeah, you like I Love Lucy, Aniston? Well, awesome. So happy to see that. Mary B, so you received the picture? Good. Can you let everyone know that you got my picture? Because I don't know, maybe sometimes people think that, you know, I say I'll send things and I don't. That's why I love when you guys send me photos or post it. Just post it on my Facebook. Not to prove, but I guess, yeah, to show people that, yeah, when I say I send something, I'm going to send it. I try to keep to that oath, or I try to keep to that promise. So it's really important to me. I'd rather not make a promise than to make it and not fulfill it. So that's the kind of person I am. So I'm glad. Marcus, so you watched the I Love Lucy episode where Ricky needed a band to play for the event in Connecticut, and then her and Ethel and Fred had to practice play. Yeah, that's called Ragtime Band. Definitely. I'm not on late. I'm on now. That's how it works. I'm on right now, which is great. I'm in the moment, right? In this moment. So thank you all guys for making it and seeing your notifications pop up and joining me. You have all the episodes? That's awesome. Do you have the Lucy and Desi Comedy Hour too, Aniston? No, that's good, Marcus. That's what this is for you guys to ask questions and so forth. I don't know. You ask me. I would say that's a blooper. Marcus asked, why did Ethel not know how to play the piano, but then can play in earlier episodes? Sorry for diving in so early. Great question. It's a blooper. It's how do you call it? It's not continuous, or it's not consistent to the overall arching story and plot. And so yeah, it's just something to keep in mind. Think about it. There's in home movies, Lucy says she went through a movie studio, and then when she gets at Hollywood, she says, yeah, we've never, no, sorry, when she visits Ethel's father, he tells him that she's never been to that side of the country before. So either she was lying in home movies, or it's just inconsistent. So, yep, it happens. Hey, Sandra, nice to meet you. So this is your first time. Awesome to be on the live stream. Well, thank you. Don't forget to leave a big thumbs up for joining the live stream. That's so awesome. That's so great. So today we're going to look at 2 episodes. I have them here. I have one queued up. I think Lucy wants to move to the country. That's the first one. Lucy wants to move to the country, and then Lucy hates to leave. So this is still in season 6. And then after this, if you guys like the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, after we finish season 6, we're going to go right into that. So we'll watch, or we'll discuss full episodes. And let's talk a little bit about that. I'll give you some of the facts on season 6 in case you guys don't have this book. Such a good book because it tells us so much about the show. Okay, so Lucy wants to move to the country. Now, let's just say you missed last week's episode or the week before that. All the episodes are on my YouTube page. You can go look at them. And they're all numbered by date. And so if there's one not there, I didn't do it because they get uploaded automatically. So hopefully you guys have seen yesterday's episode. So basically when you can't see their fingers and they're playing the piano, they're not really playing. And when you can see them actually playing, most likely they're playing. So yes. Your sad Hallmark is halted, Lucy, until January. Well, I got to tell you, Marcus, that's why you got to get the DVDs. I'm not paid to say that. I watch it whenever I want in any episode I want. I know they're a little costly. I think for $45 you can get the whole series on Amazon, like the DVDs. So I don't know if that's a lot for people or not, but it's a bit of an investment. Okay, Lucy Wants to Move to the Country. January 28th, 1957 is when it aired. Episode 167, filmed on Thursday, December 6th, 1956. A lot of sixes there. Usually filmed on a Thursday, we know that. Rating share, 42.1. So compared to Ricky Wants to Get to a Dog, this did go down. We have Joe Spaulding, played by Frank Wilcox. He was basically the man who sold the house to Lucy. But then we have Eleanor Spaulding. That's Eleanor Audley, and she is a big Disney voice actress and so forth. She was also in the Tulip episode, I believe. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So I guess I'll start playing that. If you have the episode, feel free to just start it right now. I'm doing that, starting the credits. You can watch with me, or we could just talk about the episode if you know about it, or we can just talk about something. You can ask me questions about other videos in my channel. This is you time. This is you time. Yeah, Mary, now there's a way you can also buy them separately. I haven't done the math. I don't know if that's cheaper. You guys might have to do that yourselves. It might be. There's different like ones out there, but the one that I did see, it's a whole, it's like this thick, and it's all episodes. I think it's even the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, so it's all of them, and 45. So yeah, or you can just start. You can just get like season 1, and it's I think less than $20. It's probably like 14, 15 bucks. So Scotty, you like the European episodes? Awesome. I'm doing great, by the way. Hopefully you guys are doing great. You like the Japan one? So I think there was only one in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. One from the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, right? Aniston? I think that's the only one I can think of. I mean, the one where she dresses as the geisha girls. Lucy and Ethel. That's that one. Yep. Lucy, I think it's called Lucy Goes to Japan. I think that some of these episodes are very logically named because they were never named for the original broadcast. They just popped up and they started, but now with syndication and so forth, they started to name them. So I'm your little bro. I'm the little one. I'm the young one. Feel so young. I love it. I love feeling young. When they go to Sandra Havana. Actually, that one we talked about a couple of weeks ago, I think. Yeah, when they go to Cuba. Yep. Of course, they don't really go to Cuba. Remember that. It's all in the same studio where this apartment. So now Lucy's still in the apartment. It's the last few episodes in their large apartment with the window. They don't leave that stage. When they go to Europe, they're in that stage. When they go to Hollywood, they're in that stage. Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, they're in that stage. It's all the same except for season 1 and 2. Yeah, so the chocolate one and the pregnancy ones are another separate studio. Not that far, a few blocks away. Mary B, I'm looking like I'm feeling better. Did I really look that rough? Was I like, hey guys and gals? Well, sometimes I have more energy. I just ate. So I had a late lunch, like around 3 my time. So it's kind of late. I usually don't eat that late. But yeah, but I'm okay. I'm chipper. I'm good. I'm good. Hopefully you guys are good. No coughing. Well, I kind of had this morning, I had a little bit of a, you know when there's like something caught in your throat and it makes you cough and then you're coughing for a little bit? Yeah, so. Let me see, Bob Cummings. Yeah, he was in the Japanese. I was going to say Japan and Japanese in the same syllable. Japan? I don't know. Let's see. Your all-time favorite episode is Lucy Writes a Novel because it was first aired on the day I was born. Oh, very cool. Wow. You are among the youngest on here, which is good. Youngest of heart. Yes, I'm probably the oldest of heart. I don't know, all these terms. I should be Ricky for Halloween. That's not hard. I just put a suit on. I gotta do my chocolate fudge type of haircut. Just go, Lucy, where are you? And that's it. It's simple. And just get the drum, right? So why didn't they travel? So what do you mean, Marcus? You mean why didn't they film exterior shots in other locations? It was really expensive. They used most of their money for like sets and salaries and keeping the show going. Remember, they were sponsored by different sponsors to keep the show going. That's how they paid for most of the show. And they did very, very few off-site scenes. The George Washington Bridge in the California Here We Come. And that's about it. That's about it. I'm sure. Oh, when they go to like Ohio, quote unquote, and first stop, and Lucy gets out. That's not really Lucy, it's an actress. Stuff like that. So they would pay people to do that scene. But other than that, it was all in the studio and indoors, even the outdoor shot. So yeah. I'm doing fantastic. The Hollywood ones are good. I love the Hollywood ones. So, great question, Scotty. I do go by Ricky to my family. My family all calls me Ricky when they speak we all speak in Spanish when we get together. And I go by Ricky. But when in English, it's weird for me. I honestly hold that for like very close people, if that makes sense. I prefer Rick for everyone else, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's more of like a friendly term. Like if someone really knows me, they call me Ricky, because the people who have called me that are the people that raised me and so forth. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, shooting going to Europe alone would be really expensive. Just for one person, think about how expensive that is. Then 4 people, then about 100 cast and crew. And then there were, what, 300 audience members? Doesn't make sense, right? So they did all these shots in the same studio, and it worked. Apparently it tricked some of you guys, right? That's the Hollywood world, so that is good. Cassandra, 37. You're not the youngest. Hey, maybe. There's a lot of young people. And there's a range in age, guys and gals, of people on here. There's people who are here, like, who remember when they were a little kid when this show first aired. And then I've had a 13-year-old on here who I didn't even know was, because it doesn't tell me your ages, so they'll be like, oh, I'm 13, and so forth. So, wasn't the biggest set Ricky's nightclub? Out of the main sets, because remember, from left to right, we have their bedroom, and then we have the main apartment scene, the kitchen, and then the club section. And then those, they weren't really sections, but that's how they were laid out. And then if they ever had a big scene, like remember the diner, they would hold the sets behind that, because these studios were big, and so they could put sets. They were foldable, a lot of these sets, and so they were propped up. I don't know if you guys remember when I was a little kid, they would have us do tests, and this is just like a binder, and they would put like a binder here so that we couldn't see, and we would do the test right in here. So I'm showing this to you because these are how the sets were. So to the camera, the sets were like this. They looked full, and then when they were done, they kind of could fold them. They actually folded, and then they were pushed away. And so they kept a lot of these and pulled them out when they needed to. And yeah, so any big sets, like when they were in France and they were sitting in that little coffee shop area outside, I bet you 100% that was in front of the club scene. They just pushed that whole thing almost to the wall of the stage, and then they brought the other ones to the front. That's it. It's very simple. They could do it in a couple minutes in between shoots. So who was kind of poor, Aniston? Arthur, I know what you mean. I have a nickname. Anyone inside my family says you'll be on the floor. Is it like Snugglebug or something? Is it chicken legs like Lucy? Oh, wait, bird legs like Lucy? That was her secret name? That was her little nickname? Let me see. 27. Ooh, let's start shooting out ages to see who's the youngest and the different age range. Maybe the youngest and the oldest. That'd be awesome. So I think the youngest so far I see is 27. So let me know. Let me know in the chat. What's your age? We're looking for. Let's see if we can get younger than 27. Let's see the oldest. I think 37 was the oldest that actually said. Okay, we have 29, 26. This is fun. Did I Love Lucy tape a show every day? No. Good question, Scott. They taped once a week. Oh, 56. Well, awesome. Thank you guys for sharing your age. That's awesome. 56 is the oldest. Oh, 61. 61. Mary B. Awesome. Wow. See, I love this because you can see the age range in people. Because, oh, you're 11, Aniston. Look at that. 11 to 61. Isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome? That is so awesome because I have a lot of people say, oh, is it the older generation that watches it? No. No, there's 11-year-olds, there's 12-year-olds, there's 15-year-olds, there's 20-year-olds, there's 40-year-olds, there's 60-year-olds, there's 80-year-olds, guys and gals. Oh, 63, look at that. We have a tie. Look at that. That is amazing. Like, that is amazing, the age range. Isn't that cool? So, there was a question back there. Let me go back. Because, again, there's a lot of stuff. Let's see. Here's Behind You 61. Oh yeah, so they would film. So here's their schedule. Yeah, great question. Thank you guys. I'm getting back on it. So I actually talked to Lucy Arnaz-Luckenbill, Lucy and Desi's daughter, on Facebook. We talked, and yeah, it was her. It was a confirmed account and everything. And she told me they would rehearse for 4 days. So they would literally write. The writers would write every week. Every week they would write an episode. Okay, so let's say for the first couple shows they had, I think, 10 or 20 episodes already like written out. And so let's say today they started rehearsing, just at a table read. Second day they would actually go to the set and read without any props, just read out loud in positions. 3, they would actually do it with like the lights and actually some basic props that they could handle and practice with that. And then the 4th, they would do like a really detailed run through it many times. And then the 5th day, they would film it. Then it would have 2 days off, and then we would do it again. And season 1 is the one with the most episodes back to back. They did that 35 weeks in a row. Do you know how crazy that is? Do you know how crazy that is to do that for 35 weeks? That is nuts. That's more than many shows, seasons today. So, yes. All right, I talked for a lot, and I missed a lot of questions. I'm trying to get into this. If you guys ever miss any of this, go back and watch, because this will be uploaded later on. Well, you're on to 72. She doesn't want anything made after the year 1980. Okay, that made me laugh. You've been watching Lucy since I was 5? Okay, I'll beat you 3. I was watching since I was about 3, but that's awesome. 5 is really young. That is great. Oh man, you guys are awesome. Oh, Lucy and Ethel are crying. And Fred goes, oh, for corn's sakes, because the girls are crying. Oh, that's awesome. Now, this episode, for some reason, has a very, like, the blacks are really black. Like, it's, I think the brightness is really dark. Or there's not a lot of brightness in this episode. I don't know why. I don't know if it was filmed that way. The colors were a little off. I think Carl Freund wasn't even in this, so he did amazing with his lighting. I have to do an episode just on him. So that's pretty cool. So awesome. So 72 is the peak, at least for what's on here. And I've heard from some 80-year-olds. I've gotten letters and things. So awesome. In case anyone tells you that there aren't young people or older people watching Lucy, everyone watches Lucy. Believe me. Believe me. So don't see. I used to feel bad because I thought I was like the only one. I was kind of like a closeted Lucy watcher because I would tell people, and then they'd be like, Lucy, like, that's a girl show. And it's like, I don't know why they could say that. Kids just say stuff. And then I was, like, embarrassed. I wouldn't tell people. But then I grew up, and I was like, these kids are dumb. Like, why would I even let that influence me? I like the show, and I like the show because the main actress or the main person is a woman. That doesn't, so what? There's lots of shows with women in them that are good. There's a lot of shows with men in them that are good. It's just, it is what it is. It was a funny show. A lot of men worked on it, you know, it is what it is. Fred's jokes are pretty awesome. I loved it. Fred was kind of corny, but he had some really good ones. If you guys watch my last episode, or my last video on my favorite season 3 episodes, I have a couple great Fred moments. Those are some of my favorite. The Lucy has her eyes examined. He's awesome in that one. Yeah, So now, Alec, I'm watching Lucy Wants to Move to the Country. There's a lot of crying involved. Lucy's going back and forth between wanting to go and not, and so forth. And so, yeah. They tease you for liking a black and white show. That I never got. Like, I never got teased because of that. Because, well, at least, I don't know. A lot of people now, they're finding out how a lot of black and white shows are really good. So, yep. Or you can just tell them that you're watching the colorized ones and they're in color and be like, booyah. Booyaka Shaw. You have an episode of MTV Safe Word on. Can you imagine Lucy and Desi or Vivian or any combination? I don't know what that is. Safe Word? I don't think I've watched that. Oh no. So your mom texted saying she's watching our live chat but can't figure out how to comment. Is she on a phone? If she's on the TV, she can't comment, obviously, unless you have, like, some people have a keyboard connected to their TV. If you have it on your phone, there should be a place at the bottom if you're watching it. If you click, there should be a little window, like a chat window, and you could type, like if you're texting. If you're on the computer though, it's the easiest, like a PC, a sit-down PC, because you can just go on there and type. So yeah, those are the options. I know a lot of people watch me on TV and they watch me like this big, like a 50-inch, and I'm like, oh man, I have to put makeup on to look good. No, I don't put makeup on. But yeah, it's almost like I'm an actor now. I have to put all this makeup to look good because you can see all my imperfections. Yeah. Marcus, did you do a show about Fred's last appearance on the Lucy show? I didn't do an episode on that, or a video on that. That would be good. I have a lot of ideas for episodes or for videos. I have one that's pretty cool that's coming up that involves Fred. So any Fred, like, okay, now obviously you guys like the show, but any particular like Fred fans, like I'm like, yeah, I'm Fred all the way. Because Three Stooges, there's always teams. There's like Team Larry, there's Team Mo, there's Team Curly, Team Shemp, Team Curly Joe, or sorry, Curly Joe Dorita, Team Joe Dorita, Curly Joe, and so forth. And so, I don't know, any Team Freds out there. I'm sure you guys like him, but like a favorite kind of thing. Then there's some cool stuff coming up with Fred. Or Bill Frawley. So, you like their apartment, Stars Awake, better than the country home. Yeah, the country home, you know why they did that? You know the reasoning behind that? It was mostly Desi, believe it or not, and he wanted big stuff. Remember, he was going for the hour show. He felt that they were very limited by doing only a half an hour show. He thought that they could get so much material, better storylines, they could invest more money into the show, make it just bigger spectacle, more views, more audience members, things like that, with an hour. And so he was like, but our apartment, it's an apartment set, it's so small. So if you think about the home, the country home, think about how there are no walls in that whole living room, how it's like, think about it, it's the entrance, right? The stairs going up. They got the sofa area, and it goes into the dining room, and then the kitchen, it's gigantic. Basically, that whole set encompasses the old bedroom, the kitchen, and the apartment area. So it's huge. It's like 3/4 of the entire studio. And then the kitchen is the end, and then the outside is different. But anyway, yes, so they wanted to do bigger stuff. They did a whole scene with Betty Grable. Remember the Betty Grable one? With the racehorse? And they had a huge dance number with like 50 people in the house. Yeah, because the set was huge. Yes. Wait, dog Fred or human Fred? Awesome. Yes, you got it, Katie. That is awesome. Let's just say human Fred. Yeah, dog Fred, I can't tell you much about. Someone asked me if they were actually, great question. They were like, is that dog actually Lucy and Desi's? Most likely not. Most of these animals that appeared, because remember there was one where they had pets, those were all like actor animals. Like Hollywood has these animals and animal actors like available for shooting, and so they're trained to be in the lights. They're trained to wait, especially the more intelligent ones like chimps and monkeys and things like that. Like they're trained to be in front of the cameras. Like you guys know, I'm kind of going off topic, but in Disneyland, you know the horses that pull the carriage in Disneyland, they're trained to be around people, not to think about all the people they're surrounded by, all the loud shouts, the kids screaming, and all that stuff. Roller coasters, they're trained to do their job. And so same with these animals. It's a great question. Marcus, so you mean Lucy's mom? So the actress who played Catherine Card, she was Minnie Finch. Remember that? Minnie Finch in season 3. And then when they started going to California, that's when she actually appeared, the actress. Not really Lucy's mom, but the actress who played the mom. Yeah, so she was in Hollywood, and she did appear in the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour. Did you guys know that? In the Japanese episode, she is there. She takes care of Ricky, but she doesn't go to the country, which is weird. But, yeah, they couldn't put her in the story. Think about it. Little Ricky, they wrote him out a lot of story plots. Another one in the season 6, he just goes with the Munsons all the time. You guys remember that? Yeah, the Fred dog was very well trained. Excuse me, I'm burping all of a sudden. And let me say, I had a thought for that. They did the dog voice. Did you guys know that? They did that. That was the actual dog barking. A woman did a voice, and I can't remember her name right now. You guys probably know it. I was looking at it the other day. Lalani, how are you? Fred said in the episode to Ricky, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Then Ricky said, never mind about your relatives. Yeah. Yeah, they had good lines. You didn't know that, Marcus? Yeah, look. She does a different voice. These are talented actors. She's like creepy. To me, she's creepy as Minnie Finn. She was like, you ain't Kinsey, are you? And she does like a really like scruffy voice. And then when she does Lucy's mom, she's like, oh, hello, Lucy. Like she's like a different person. These are what good actors do. They can blend into different characters and make voices, change, contort their body. Yep, she even looked different. She stood up straighter, right? Yeah, that's all acting, makeup. And I mean, it speaks to the talent of these actors. Lucy and Desi hired, in their opinion, the best of the best. Even for the supporting small roles. Yep. So I love teaching you guys new things like that, and I love when you guys tell me things or fill in the gaps so I forget, because I do that all the time. So Scotty Baxter, oh, there it is. Eleanor oddly taking the purse away from Lucy because she had that little water squirter, little pistol, and Ricky the Brains will be walking in. He's gonna go, what happened? With their hands up. So Scotty, you've heard when you hear the lady say, oh, it's Lucy's real mother on the audience. You're correct. It is Dee Dee Ball. Yes, correct. She was at every single taping in the audience, in the back. I believe she was in the back. Desi's mother was also in the audience. I don't think every taping, but she was there pretty often. She's not the lady who played her on the show. These are all actresses. Think about that. Even little Ricky, of course, some people may not know if you're just starting to get into the show. That was not the actual son of Desi. Sorry, that was Domino's telling me that I'm not plugging for Domino's at all. I shouldn't even mention them. Telling me you can get a free pizza if you order 51. So yeah. Arthur, show where they have celebrity friends play crazy games. One game where they trade the phone, pick safe word. Oh yeah, I've never done that. That's interesting. I may have to look into it. Oh, so Katie, you love the guy who went yes. So that's Frank Nelson. He appeared, I believe, 7 times on the show. 7 or 8 times, I think 7. I'm going with 7 for now. Don't quote me on exactly 7, but I think it's 7. And I did a whole video on him. So look him up, Frank Nelson, I Love Lucy, you'll see him. And I show all of his appearances, I think except one that I missed. But we allude to it finally, so yeah. Domily, did Desi wear lifts in his shoes? These are all great questions, guys. Keep them coming. I love these questions because we all learn and so forth. Yes, he did. He did wear lifts. People thought he was 5'11". He was not that tall. And you have to remember, I'm not excusing him, but this was the 50s. I used to be a teacher, so historical significance is very important. This was the 50s. It was a different, more traditional time. He was the man. And so he and Lucy were actually very similar in height. Lucy wore heels. He didn't want her towering over him. So he had lifts put in, as well as his side of the couch. You notice he would sit on a certain side of the couch always. That's because that one had a padding that was undetectable. So when he would sit there, he would be higher than Lucy. And then Lucy did not have almost any padding, so she would sink. And so, I mean, this is movie magic. They make it so it's almost imperceptible, but it was there. It was written by the cast and crew that, yeah, he did have lifts. In fact, you can see it on some of the things, like his sole on some of his shoes are really thick, like abnormally thick in some scenes. And so, yeah, great question. Scotty, I don't doubt it. Of course she did. The ice cream and the sardines. Lucy would do anything to get a laugh on camera. She always said that. And so I believe so. Yeah, ice cream is pistachio. It's a regular flavor. It's not my favorite, but it's eatable. And sardines, I mean, some people like sardines and chocolate fudge. So yeah, she was going to town with that. Sandra, is it true that when Lucy and Ricky are dedicating the soldier statue, did Lucy and Desi really play a cameo? So, if you looked at my video, there was an error, and oh man, my nose is itchy. I'm sorry. There was an error in which I said that was Lucy Arnaz Luckinbill, and that was incorrect. I left a note of it in the video or in the description, and that's because it's like an incorrect fact that is being promoted, that when I researched it, that was the first thing I saw and I put that. Now I research things a little bit harder. And so she was not in it, but that is little Desi. Yes. So yeah, cool. Those girls are not her. She says it's not me, but Desi was in it. So yeah, he's one of the boys because there's a few boys there. Marga, so the guy who was a dude of astrology, so you're talking about Mr. Merriweather, right? In the seance episode, I'm guessing, was also the scared dude who sublet the apartment? Yes. At least he looked like him, I think. Yes. So his name is Jay Novello with an O. And he was a character actor, very popular. Do you know what other episode he was in, Marcus? He was also the Italian guy in the pizza episode, Visitor from Italy. Mario. So he does an Italian accent there. He does. So these are talented. Again, they can do a lot of voices. They're character voice actors. And so, yeah, he appeared 3 times on the show. Very good. You have a good eye. Yeah, she would have been closer, but doesn't that happen, guys and gals, when you're closer to people, you should see them more and you don't? It's like when everyone says, oh yeah, I'm going to have my own house, I'm going to have a swimming pool, and I'm going to swim every day, and it's like you go for the first like month or 2, and then you never go again. I guess maybe it's like that. Or maybe Ricky's like, we're not visiting your mother, Lucy. I don't know. It's funny. Yep, he was on the seance, so seance, si, senora. He was the Italian guy and the sublease guy who was scared. And I would say the closest thing to his voice is the sublease, probably, because in the other one, he's a more high-pitched voice, interesting mannerisms as well. Good question, Katie. I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine, or you may know. I don't know. I really can't tell you because I probably have not. No, I haven't watched a full episode of Brady Bunch, unfortunately. I don't know. Heard it's an alright show. Oh, so that could be right. He was older. So this is 70s. So yeah, that would make sense. He was a teenager, right? That makes sense. Well, remember they played. So the episode's over, but Lucy Jr. I call her in a very loving way. Lucy Arnaz Luckinville. She was in with Desi Jr. On the Lucy show. And they played Lucy's kids, and they were the actual kids in real life. So that's kind of cool. So they did act with Lucy for a while. For a good seasons. I think the Lucy show was like 6 years. Quote me on that. I'm not sure. I'm not a big watcher of that show. Okay, so the episode is done. Let's go. Lucy Hates to Leave. I'll read some information on it. Is the lighting okay? It's all right. Because it's 4 o'clock and it's already getting muggy. Is that worse or better? It's just a little bit more light. Okay. Lucy with the heebie-jeebies. Remember that, guys? Yeah, it sounds about right. Now it makes sense. Like, I remember him as like a teenager-ish age on, like, appearing. Someone said Marsha. And I think she's like the blonde girl, one of the blonde girls. And so, yes, that makes sense. I saw a photo or something where she was, yeah, okay, now it's coming back. I don't know much about that show. I would love to know more about other shows because I would love if this channel is just like all these classic shows. But, I mean, Lucy seems to be what people, like everyone likes. All these other shows like Seinfeld, and they're great shows, but I think they're very niche. You know, quote me on that. I don't know. Let me know. Three Stooges people like, but honestly, the videos that get the most views on my channel that people seem to watch are the Lucy ones. So I'm gonna definitely put more material on, but it's just funny how certain episodes of mine hit more than others. Okay. So Lucy Hates to Leave. Now this did a tad bit better. Lucy Wants to Move to the Country got 42.1 in the rating. Lucy Hates to Leave got 42.5, so 0.4 better for this episode. This was a February 4th, 1957 release. Now think about this. So this is the next year. It's the same season, but it's next year. So between December, they kind of waited a month. They had a month off, and then they premiered that. But however, they filmed it back in December. So remember, filming's done about a month before. Episode 168, filmed on Thursday, December 13th, 1956, right before Christmas, a couple of weeks before Christmas, a week or so. Supporting cast, Little Ricky, Keith, Little Richard Keith, Mr. Taylor, Gene Reynolds. So this was the young couple. Mrs. Taylor was Mary Ellen Kay. She seems so familiar to me. I think I've seen probably Gene Reynolds somewhere. He's ringing a bell, I don't know. Mr. Taylor was portrayed by a friend of Bob Schiller. Interesting. a young, not very successful actor who, until the part came along, had been financially stranded in New York. Wow, this is interesting. So Mr. Taylor, the young newlywed, the male newlywed, Desilu paid him $500 for 4 days' work, and Gene Reynolds decided to stay in California. Huh. Today, he's one of the TV's most respected producers. Guys, did you know this? Room 222, Lou Grant, MASH, and others. Gene Reynolds. Well, you guys probably know. I didn't know that. I learned something new. You see how I learn something new all the time? Wow, I did not know that. So see, that's cool. That's like, I don't want to say it's a cameo, but it's a cool appearance. It's a nice little trivia fact. Isn't that cool? Okay. I watched an episode, Marcus, of Letterman where Desi Arnaz appeared. I found that the piano dude Marco was his actual... Oh yeah, he was. They were really good friends in real life. Yep. Bewitched. That's another show that I haven't watched much of. I heard people love it. There was a seance episode, the comedy hour, right? No, so great question, Arthur. That is back in season 1. I think it's like the 6th episode. It's called The Seance. It's in the small apartment. And it's one of the very, very, very first episodes. Jay Novello's in it. Lucy plays... well, Ethel plays like a medium, you know, like a psychic medium type thing. And Fred does the voice of like a ghost. Like, it's a pretty funny episode. It's all right. Aniston. So, yes, they had... and you got it, Alondras. You beat me to it. I just saw your comment. The thing is, I'll read a question, I'll answer it, and I'll look down. Some of you guys have already answered. You guys are so quick on this stuff, which is good. You can tell Lucy wore a lot of makeup. So they all had a lot of makeup. Close shots of Desi. He has tons of makeup too. It's just, that's the way the camera does. You don't want shines on faces. It just doesn't look good. You get glare spots, and it doesn't look good on camera. You get a nice uniform look with makeup, kind of dulls the lights and so forth. There's other reasons too, sweating and so forth. Yes, Lucy had false eyelashes. However, did she have false eyelashes? I don't know. She had really nice eyes. And they're really apparent on the show. So now you're going to make me look, Arthur, and that's not a complaint. That's a good thing, because I want to know what episode that is now. Like, you guys get me on these things where I become so obsessed. But that's good. Okay, so The Seance, episode 7. Oh, missed it by 1. Okay, so it's a seance filmed October 19th, 1951. I won't read the whole thing. Jay Novello's the only guy in there, and it has to do with numerology. Take a look. Find it. I'm telling you, a lot of people who love Lucy and watch a lot of episodes, they've only watched them on TV and syndications. They only air certain episodes, let me tell you. There's 179 episodes in I Love Lucy, I believe. And they don't play all of them in syndication, or they play certain ones very rarely. 179 episodes plus 13 from the Lucy and Desi comedy hour. Do the math, because I'm horrible at math. But yeah, almost 200 episodes. So yeah, well, this should be easier, right? 189. And yeah, math. Yes, medium rare. There we go. So is Lucy and Desi's weight requirement contract true or a gag? So Marcus, I have a video on Ethel and her weight contract. Go take a look at that video. Any questions that you guys ask that I directly point to in the video, I'll just refer you to the video. Because we could say yes, no, and all that, but you want to know the background. You want to know why, and you probably want to know all the juicy details. I give them to you in my videos, so go ahead and take a look at that. Katie, so what do I think was the craziest episode? Craziest? Oh, there were so many ones. Like, ridiculous? I mean, the bread one was pretty ridiculous. The starch one was pretty ridiculous. The one where her on the helicopter. I mean, there's so many crazy, ridiculous episodes. But those are the ones that are popping in mind right now. There's probably crazier ones, you know? Yeah, Marcus, so I have a video on that. Go check it out. You'll like it. Alondras, the last time I saw a rerun on TV, I was so upset because you could tell they were cutting scenes out. Oh, absolutely. And it's like, they're not even like hiding it. It's just really big cuts of these scenes. Some of them are like little Ricky playing and stuff like that. And it's all right, but some are pretty funny scenes. Like, they'll cut out certain jokes. They'll cut out all the Philip Morris. You will not hear Philip Morris said in syndication ever. Why? Because, I mean, they're not sponsored by it anymore, obviously. and so they don't want to pay money to them. So it's weird. They have to really cut them in weird places. And yeah. Hulu has an I Love Lucy show. I bet you it doesn't have all of the episodes, though. That's part of Hulu's thing. The messiest. Oh, geez. The chocolate is messy. But then the house, they make a disaster at the house. What else? Oh, man. There's so many messy ones. The diner, they make a mess with the pies. There's so many. Yeah, Casey, great question. So if I already did a video on this, but what was the most expensive episode? Yeah, I don't make a video on just what the most expensive episode is, but I can tell you it is the when they get on the boat to Europe. I'm fogging up with the name. Lucy Goes to Europe? I don't know. They get on the boat. Bon Voyage. There we go. Bon Voyage. Got into my brain quickly. Yes, Bon Voyage was the most expensive episode. Did any people of the radio show with Lucy appear on TV also? Yes. So Gail Gordon was the original Fred, or the neighbors. Who's going to be the original Fred? Who else? Bea Benaderet. She was also on the radio show. She appeared in an episode as well. Who else? Well, Jess Oppenheimer was behind the whole show, and he was in both. So, yeah, let me see. Trying to get back to questions that I may have missed. What was with Lucy and the big hair that started in 57? Just fashion trends, I would say. She liked that hair, and she changed. She was getting older. Things were changing. Yep, Ethel was kicked in the face in Bon Voyage. Have I heard anything new from Lucy Jr.? Stay tuned on that. There might be some more info. I'll just leave you guys hanging on that one because there's cool stuff coming along. Bastille. Lucy is the only one I've ever seen except the Bastille one that I didn't notice where it's cut. I have to look at that one. I have to definitely look at that one because I'm not sure if I have to look at that one, if it's on or not. I'm not sure. You wish they would have done more of a Christmas episode. Well, you know there is one, Marcus. There's the Christmas show. It's a whole episode. It didn't air in syndication, and so you could find it on DVDs and so forth. And they air on TV like rarely, like maybe during Christmas. Sandra Lopez. When they want to get rid of the maid and they make a paste with peanut butter. Yep. Yep. That's pretty messy. Oh, do I love Hogan's Heroes? I can probably show you. Yeah, I have the whole set. I love Hogan's Heroes. The thing is, though, I have to be honest. I watch it. I haven't watched every episode because some of them I gotta get to. But I've watched most of them, and I've watched many of them multiple times. I can only watch a certain dose. Like I watch like 10 episodes at once, and then I'm like done for a while. You know, like because they're cool stories, but it can get a little repetitive, right? A lot of army, a lot of war, you know, and so there's a lot of like infiltration and so forth. So yeah, but I do love the show. Yep, Scotty, you're right. He played a judge, and he was also in the last episode of season 1 where Fred dresses up in drag. Yep. Donnelly, for the most part, everything that you see. The only way she would have a double, quote unquote, is when they get out of the car and she walks in the Ohio episode. When she walks the other side of the street, that's not Lucy. But I mean, that's an exterior shot. They would fly someone out or have someone already there who was an actress. They would pay. They would get the same car. They would get a duplicate car and do that scene. So yeah, for the most part, Lucy did not have a double. However, in the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, the one where Milton Berle, when she was hanging off, she did have a double for those scenes because she was fairly high up. And they just wanted to not risk her safety. Same for Milton Berle and Desi. So, yeah. Scott, yes, they do have the rights. Yep. Yes, the maid appeared in 2 episodes. Her name was, oh geez, I forgot her name, but she was a fairy godmother in the original Cinderella cartoon, Disney cartoon. Oh geez, she is also the mother of, she was the wife of the voice of Pluto, too. Yeah, the wife of the man. Yeah, the guy was, yeah. So, kind of cool. Blap Tag, how are you? Oh, Arthur, what I meant was Lucy is on the show. I didn't notice where they cut them in the Bastille one. I noticed because they cut the French to German. Yeah, they do those cuts. That's unfortunate, isn't it? You like the Honeymooners? Yeah, nothing compares to I Love Lucy. That's what I'm telling you. Like, people have these shows, but they're always like second rate to I Love Lucy. That's why when some people are like, oh, do you like the Lucy show? And it's like, yeah, like, I know Lucy, but it's like, I always think it's subpar to I Love Lucy. And I think that very few disagree with that. You can. But I mean, very few people can say that there's like I can name the Flintstones. I just got on DVD. Family Matters, Seinfeld. I mean, Seinfeld is close, but it's not classic yet. It's getting to be classic, or kind of in that classic, but it's not like classic. You know, Andy Griffith's show I used to watch when I was younger, and as I grew older, I liked it less. It was a little too slow paced for me. But I do love Barney Fife. He's my man right there. The most annoying supporting character. Oh, jeez. Honestly, Jay Novello, I think. Yes, senora. I think he kind of plays an annoying character. I like Tennessee Ernie Ford. I know some people don't. And that's fine. Some people do. That's about it. I don't know. If you guys can name some supporting actors that you think are annoying, I'll let you know. Because I can't think off the top of my head. You know who? Aaron Spelling was a little bit annoying as the gas station attendant. More when he was at the jail or at the police station. I think he was just a little more annoying. He was mean in that one. He was part of the whole, like, ones who wanted them arrested. Marcus, well, for the record, Bob Hope episode has to be the funniest. That's a good episode. That's a very good episode. Laundress, you think the Lucy show was nearly close to I Love Lucy till Viv left and Lucy went to California. Oh, they did that type of thing. Interesting. Maybe they were trying to replicate, you know, going to Hollywood. I don't know. Sometimes the writers, they just run out of ideas. You know that Madeline Pugh and Bob Carroll Jr., they left the show right before it ended because they said they were just exhausted. They're writing literally, except for 2-3 months out of the year, they're writing every week an episode. Do you know what that's like? Write a story every week, guys and gals. Can you do that? A story that can last on film for about 30 minutes every week and come up with a fresh, interesting idea. That's hard. That is hard. And so shows are struggling today to do that. Yep. Okay, Cousin Ernie. I could see how he's annoying. I could see if people call him the Jar Jar Binks of I Love Lucy. I get you. I tend to like him. Like, you know, the Jar Jar Binks thing? I get him. He's annoying. Misa Jar Jar Binks. However, I'm okay with him. It's just he's Jar Jar. Whatever. Like, you know, some people get really passionate against some of these characters, and there's very few that I dislike. Although there's some shows where I dislike some characters. I don't like to say the word hate. Yeah, well, think about it, Scott. It technically makes sense because she wouldn't have had kids. And so the idea is when you get kids, they reel you in a little bit. You become a little bit more mature. So maybe Lucy was zanier before season 2. It's good. Yeah, so Katie, I do an episode. Watch my blooper videos. I cover that in one of my blooper videos. So I have a lot of them. So take a look. Scott, was that Ricky's real band? Yep. They were always on the side, and any music that you saw on screen was played literally directly in the club scene. Like, they were sitting there all the time, pretty much. Yeah. So even if there were scenes at the club or not. However, if the club wasn't there, they did something else. So that's another story. But, yeah. And you have 3 Scots on there. You're Scotty. Okay, so CKC, you're a writer, right? That's really hard to write that much content, right? That's why I think the writers are all genius. All of them. Yes, some of the episodes are weaker compared to the others. But look at shows today. They cannot come up with original stuff. Like, every single sitcom has done a Handcuffs episode. First one is pretty much I Love Lucy. Think about it. I've seen all these shows, My Wife and Kids. And think about it. Think about your favorite TV shows that are sitcom-y. And except for maybe Seinfeld, there wasn't a Handcuff episode. But, like, almost every sitcom has a Handcuff episode. Marcus, was the husband of the Connecticut neighbor, can't think of the names right now, on multiple episodes? The husband of the Connecticut neighbor. Oh yeah, Frank Nelson. Yeah, I did a whole video on him. I told someone about that earlier. Yeah, go watch my Frank Nelson video, I Love Lucy. He'd explain it. He appeared 7 times on I Love Lucy. Did anyone ever get into the old game shows, like watching What's My Line? Some of those are good. The Gong Show, right? Is that one of them? There was a lot of cool old shows. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. Let's see, Sandra. The character in the episode where Lucy can't tell a lie, Marion Strong. Yeah, she was annoying. Well, I think that was more purposeful because I wanted to make that joke. Yeah, Marion Strong was annoying. Yeah, but no one was really passionately annoying on the show. Like for Seinfeld's Newman. He's the annoying guy. Yep, that's the lady with the hat. Oh, that's funny, Casey, about content. That is funny. All right. Let me just take care of this. And let me see. All right. Always have to do some cleanup work, guys and gals. Okay. So you did thesis paper. When the Applebee's had their child and would show the pictures, it was so annoying. Yeah, I love Dora Singleton. I had a crush on her. She was amazing. They never show the Mertzes kitchen. Correct. They do not. Yeah, maybe they didn't have a kitchen. Maybe it was a whole conspiracy. Ethel just went out and then, you know, just a mystery. And they came out with the food. You didn't like Carolyn Appleby? I thought she was awesome. She was awesome. Jane Doe is back. You ever seen Ernie in the older Lucy show where he came out on the show in color? He looked exactly the same. No, I haven't. I'm going to have to look that up. It's awesome. So the woman on the plane, I don't remember her character. I don't remember her character name. I don't remember her character name. But she was the neighbors later on. She was Betty Ramsey later on. She appeared quite often in the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, and she appeared on the Lucy Show, right? Ricky's laugh. Oh no, I love Ricky's laugh. It adds to the cheesiness. Okay, like Seinfeld, my dad, we would watch it together, and then he would hate, like he would love the show, but he would be annoyed at Jerry Seinfeld because he would laugh a lot, and he wasn't that great of an actor, and he was like, well, I don't know what's going on, and so forth. I was like, that makes the show better. It makes it corny and cheesy, like it's just Jerry, you know? And so kind of the same thoughts for me with that. Seems like Lucy was the one doing the cooking. No, guys and gals. There is the one time where you see the Mertzes kitchen. Yes, Marcus. Yup. The washing machine. Yes, when the washing machine messes up, that's the Mertzes kitchen. You're so right. You're so correct. How did I forget that? See, you guys, I'm telling you, you guys are sharp. Yup. Trademark laugh. And now they are in the crowded Mertzes bedroom with all the stuff in there. Oh my goodness. That is super crowded. Although, it makes you want to think, what are all those things at the apartment? I know they're Lucy's things, but really? She had that many things? I guess it makes sense. They're moving their whole apartment, right? Lucy is in Scotland. That's her least favorite episode. I'm the same way. Lucy's last birthday, I don't like it. Friends of the Friendless, I'm just not. I don't know. My opinion, that was a weak episode. I know it had the song at the end, I Love Lucy, it had the lyrics. I would watch that part, but the whole episode, that's like 5% of the episode, right? And so, again, probably not why it's one of my favorites. Although, I make a big point in my videos where I'm like my favorite episodes versus the best episodes, if that makes sense. You guys notice that? I'm very keen on my words. I put my favorite. The Scotland episode was expensive. Think about, they had to build a whole set for the dream sequence. They had to do costumes, all that stuff. And just think about it. It was maybe not a liked episode, but they spent a lot of money on it. And so maybe that's the best in production, but not the best in quality or likability. Yeah. Yeah, they do show the kitchen. See, you guys are sharp. You guys get me all the time. I'm just playing with something. Sorry. It's one of my charging thingies. You like when Lucy had the furniture in the kitchen, so she had to keep returning, excuse me, to the apartment. The reaction to her running back. Well, I like the part when Ricky finds her and notices what she's doing. That's amazing. That's such a good part. Now, just a little friendly reminder, guys and gals, if you didn't leave a thumbs up below, please do that. It does help out. It raises my rating in my channel, which right now YouTube is just, it's a mess. It's a mess. I don't know if YouTube is, if they're even like monitoring this. Hello, YouTube. But it's the truth. Like, ask any YouTuber. So any like, any support, any subscriptions, any support on my channel is much, much appreciated. And if you want to see more Ricknineg, description, lots of good stuff. Instagram, Facebook, you can stay in touch with me. Patreon is a good way to support the channel. I put a lot of exclusive content on it that's not on YouTube. Links are all in the description. The nursery was to the, yeah, so that was because there were 2 apartments, 2 entrances. Yep. So that's the thing. If in syndication, there's sometimes no order. They just put a random episode on. So the apartments don't look that different except for that window. I mean, yes, they're different, but if you don't really pay attention, you might get confused. And so, yeah, they're 2 different apartments. Nope, Scott, no laugh track. Except for home movies. Because technically, they filmed that episode not in front of a live studio audience because of all the effects. However, it was played in front of the audience, and then those laughs were recorded. So it wasn't really a laugh track. Although they used I Love Lucy's laughs for other shows, like the Dick Van Dyke Show. So yes. Yes, I'm live now, Andrew. Absolutely. Yeah, you guys should see. If you ever don't know, look at the video. It should say live. If you see a red line, or what you should do is, if you're watching this and there's a red line showing the counter, it should be all the way to the right, literally kissing the end of the thing, of the bar. And if it's there, it should say live somewhere. If you're watching this later, it will not say live. So reach out or take a look at that. Well, thank you, Leilani. Casey, why is YT? I'm just going to say YT. Finding your videos not suitable. I don't know. We should ask him. At YouTube team on Twitter or something. I wrote and they're like, well, we're working on it. Blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm not the only one. A lot of people are getting it. There's a cooking channel that's getting like demonetized that I'm watching, and I'm like, why? It is, I don't want to get into it, guys and gals. It's honestly, to be frank with you guys, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but it's getting to the point where it's like, there's certain things you can't say, like literally that. And so I'm not surprised if what I'm saying now may make this demonetized. Like, it's that bad. So I just want to let you guys know, I think you have a right to know what's going on behind the scenes. I always make my channel family friendly, or that's my goal. 100%. It's not, but now YouTube is kind of making that happen by force. I'm not opposed to that. But now it's like the other end of the pendulum went too far, where it's like a thumbnail might get misinterpreted by the algorithm as wrong and so forth. So anyway, enough of that. I like to do this on entertainment and comedy and just fun stuff. But yeah, you guys should also know what's going on. So yeah. Why was there a step up in the kitchen? Good question. Remember, a lot of the times they were sitting down. Ricky was always sitting down on the counter. And so he would be lower, and so the cameras don't really want to look down. They want to have an even playing field when they're sitting down. And so they would have to make the set higher, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? You're right. It's the only part that's a step up. Yep. So that's a practical purpose. There's a reason for that, for the show, not so much for the episode. The episode's done, guys and gals, and that's okay, but we can still keep talking if you guys have questions. If not, I can leave in a little bit. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Stars Wake. It took you a while to connect it to I Love Lucy. Interesting. Ricky Mind's baby has no audience either. Really, Andrew? I don't know that. I didn't know that. I'll have to research that and confirm. Meaning, I want to look into that because that's interesting. Very, very interesting, actually. One of your favorites when Lucy and Ricky go back to Cuba and meet Lucy and Ricky Jr. for the first time. Lucy and Ricky. confused. How long was Lucy on maternity leave? Good question. I don't know offhand, like months, but she was off for about 5 episodes. 1 episode a week? Month and a half max, let's say. Yeah. Hello, Ty. You never notice the counter until the babysit. Now, here's something cool, guys. A last thing. There's some episodes where there's no counter at all. It's taken out. So you can see. And again, you have to look for it, because the other I was watching, I was like, where's the counter? Like, literally, there's free space between the camera and the counter. Like, it was showing the whole set, and it's like, the counter's out. And then the next thing, the counter was in. They do that. That's on purpose. It's like the episode New Neighbors in season 1, where they're looking out the window in their binoculars. That was added to the front, in between the cameras and the set, as a part of a set. And they do that. That's part of film. That's part of TV. And so I do have the Lost Pilots. Yep. Colorized episodes are alright. I watch them. Black and white's good with me. I prefer them, but the colorized ones are cool. Scotty, that is the pilot episode, although that episode was made twice. There's the pilot, and then there's the audition. The audition is the remake of the pilot. In the audition, Fred plays a supporting role. In the pilot, we have Jerry Hausner playing the role that Fred took over. If that makes sense. When the family was recently in Desi. Okay, gotcha. No problemo. Home Movies is awesome. I love it. When I saw that, and I don't think I saw it in syndication. I think I saw it on DVD, and I was like, why isn't this shown like more? Like, this is the best episode, in my opinion. One top 5 at least ever. Oh man. Wait, there were I Love Lucy episodes wasn't on. How do I not remember that? Where Lucy wasn't on? No, really? I don't think that's true. No. She was in every episode, I'm pretty sure. Even if it was small. But yeah. Unless you guys can think of one, but I doubt it. Yes, so sorry guys, I'm referring to the counter in the kitchen. Yep. I've not been to the I Love Lucy Museum in New York. Nope. I'm looking to take a trip. I'm on this side of the country. I'm on the other side. I'm on the west side. I'm on the butt side instead of the Florida side. Yep, editing of the clips. That's why I love home movies so much. It reminds me of YouTube. But I used to love that episode from before. Now even more, I guess. Little Ricky's bedroom magically appears in the hall, and the window in the Ricardos' bedroom disappeared. That's funny. That is really, really funny. Did they sell the props? So I know, if you guys haven't seen my interview, my first interview, the man who interviews me, Dr. Paul Lisnick, he has some I Love Lucy items. He has the original phone, and he has other items. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to get into all the details, because, you know, that's for him to discuss. But yes, there are people with the actual items. They're around. The actual, like the one that Lucy touched, Desi touched, yes. In the Vitamina Benjamin episode, you see the Ricardos' apartment in the background. Yes. There's one for next blooper video. Vitamina Benjamin episode. You know, I think I covered that, Alondras, in... That's season 1. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. My season 1 video got removed from YouTube. Well, it's unviewable. I can see it, but no one else can see it. And that was made that way. I'll just leave it at that. Stay tuned, guys and gals. There might be some re-uploads. Just, I don't want to say much about it. Just keep that in mind to make up for some of that stuff. Yes, the larger apartment had a table in the kitchen. However, I swear I was watching an episode in the larger apartment where there was a counter all of a sudden, and it threw me off. I'm really going to have to take a look at that, because that's what I want to think. Or was it in the earlier one where the counter disappeared? I stand corrected. I'm not sure. But it was an episode where during the course of the episode, there was a counter, and then later on, back in the kitchen, no counter. I would not say that's a blooper, because when they're sitting, they're going to sit on the counter. Not on the counter, but use it as a table type thing. However, oh, you know where it is, guys and gals? Pioneer Woman. There was no way to show the bread if they had the counter there. There it is, Ricknineg. There it is. Watch it. Pioneer Woman, if you have access to it. There is a counter in the beginning of the episode. How else was she making the dough? Right? She was making the dough in the bowl that was on top of the counter. Then the counter is gone, because then we see the oven. It makes you think like they're filming above the counter, but no, they had to rip it out, or these are movable things. So yes. Yes, yes, yes. So did you guys catch that? That's what it is. She was on maternity leave. Yes, I believe so. She was on maternity leave. Is that an error? After she had the baby, she was on maternity leave. Yep. Oh, you have a bottle of Vitamin Avenger. That's awesome. That's funny. Yeah, the counter is like a bar, kind of. You know, it's just like a boxy, long thing that is used as a table. So, alright guys and gals, take a look at my videos if you haven't, because a lot of you are asking great questions that I do cover in my videos. If you go to my main Ricknineg page, youtube.com/Ricknineg2009, you could definitely look at a playlist. So you go to playlist, I Love Lucy. I have almost 100 Lucy videos. Some people don't know how you can access them, but that's how you access them, and the list is just there. What you have seen will appear in red, what you haven't will be blank. And so that's kind of cool. Thank you. Well, I don't think I'm a genius. I have a lot of time. Or I watch it a lot, and I pay attention to things. That's just it. I'm observant. Let's just say that. All right. Thank you, guys and gals. You are awesome. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you for the love and support. There's 32 of you on it this time, and I appreciate that. You guys are amazing. And some good stuff. There's some more flying videos coming soon, and a car video coming today on my second channel. Link in the description. We'll see you all next time, and don't forget, guys and gals, be hopeful.